YouTube tags, how important are they? Will they help your videos get more views on YouTube? In this video, we're going to take a look at how important are YouTube tags to helping you grow your channel here on YouTube. As YouTube continues to improve its algorithm and better understands what's actually in your videos, tags and other metadata become less relevant. And so I want to take you to a video by Creator Insider, which is actually a YouTube channel run by the tech team at YouTube, explaining to creators how YouTube works. And let's take a look what they have to say about YouTube tags.
Tags. Do they matter? What should we put in them? What are they for? Are they still used?
We do look at tags a little bit, but not as much as creators think we do.
Yes, okay.
So what matters the most to us is what matters the most to the audience. And what that is the thumbnail and the title. That's what the viewers are using to decide whether they're gonna start watching a video.
Yep.
So sometimes tags can be useful if the content of your video or your channel name is like commonly misspelled,
okay,
and we haven't yet made that connection based on people searching for that and finding your video.
So according to YouTube, it doesn't seem like tags are all that important in your videos, but I want to take a look at what other YouTube creators are saying about actually putting tags in videos, the studies they've done. And so I want to walk you through a couple different studies so you have a better understanding of how important tags are and if and how they may help you and your videos on YouTube. So the first study that has to do with tags that I want to talk about today was done by VideoIQ, the YouTube tool that we recommend using to do research for keywords. And so what they had did is they came up with an interesting way to look at how important is metadata in your YouTube videos. They came up with this idea with, why don't we make up a word that you're not going to find anywhere on YouTube, and then we're going to start putting it places in the metadata, so the title, the description, the tags, etc., and let's see if these videos or our channel shows up in search results. And so what they came up with was a word called quitiv, which is vidIQ backwards, so quitiv 54321. The first thing they tested is if they put that in the title of a video, will it show up? And so what they found is yes, putting that in the title, changing the title to an existing video to include that word, it would show up in a matter of minutes in search results. The second thing that they did was putting quitiv 54321 in the description of a video. And what do you think happened? Well, instead of in minutes, it's showing up in search results. Sometimes it took maybe up to 24 hours, but having the word in the description, it would show up in search results. The interesting thing there is if they had the word in a title and then in the description, you can see in the search results, the one that had it in the title showed up higher than the one that had the word in the description. So you can infer from that, what you have in the title is more important than what you have in the description of the videos. Another thing that was interesting is they translate a lot of their videos to other languages. And so they put quitiv 54321 in the Turkish description of one of their English videos. And again, that video would show up in English search results. But what do you think happened when they added quitiv 54321 in tags of YouTube videos? So they tried it once, they tried it twice, they actually tried it 5 times, and those videos never showed up in search results. So what does that have to say about tags? So we're going to get into this a little bit later, but I think one of the things is YouTube is looking at the metadata very early on in video, so right when a video is launched. So maybe one of the issues with the VideoIQ study is that they were making changes to videos that had been up on YouTube for a little while. Even with putting quitiv 54321 on things within your channel, they found it to show up. So if you put it in the description of your channel, the about me or about us section, their channel would show up in search results. But tags, it just wasn't happening. Now let's move on to another study done by Backlinko where they took a look at 1.3 million video views, and here's what they had to say about YouTube tags. We found a very small relationship between keyword-rich video tags and rankings. This could represent the fact that YouTube can now understand video content without the help of metadata. Okay, so what you can see in this first chart is what % of videos had the keyword of whatever was being searched for as a tag. And what Backlinko found is for the #1 position in search results, about 1.5% of videos had keyword tag match. And then as you went further down the rankings from number 1 to later on all the way down to number 20, there was somewhere between 0.75% and 0.5% of videos had keyword tag match. You can see there is a positive relationship to number 1 videos have a slightly higher percent have a keyword tag match, but it isn't a huge percent. And so there is a positive relationship, but you can see it's not super important to ranking number 1 on YouTube. Okay, so now moving on to this second chart. This is basically the comparison for the same idea, but for keyword phrases in the title. And what you can see here is there's a much higher correlation with a keyword in the title versus in the tags. And so for the number 1 video, now 5% of the time, the video in the number 1 position had an exact match with the keyword phrase being in the title. And then you can see as you go further down the ranking that percent drops down a fair amount from 5% to under 4% of videos. Again, this isn't 100% of videos at number 1. You have to have it in the title, but you can see there is a positive relationship. So having the keyword phrase in the title to some extent is going to help your videos rank better. Okay, so that brings me on to our third study. And this was done by Brigsby. They analyzed 3.8 million data points across 100,000 videos and 75,000 channels. And here's what they found. So for videos ranking number 1, over 35% of them had keyword optimized tags. And you could see there is a positive relationship where as you go further away from the number 1 ranking videos, it dropped from over 35% having optimized tags to under 31%. And so you can see there is a positive relationship to using optimized tags and ranking higher in search results. So the next thing I took a look at was how important were the amount of characters you used of your video tags. And so for those of you who don't know, you can use up to 500 characters for your tags in any one of your videos. And so what they had taken a look at was what were the average numbers of views based on different character amounts for each of the videos. And so what they found is the highest number of views also had the highest use of the characters within their YouTube tags. And so you can see here videos that were using 400 to 500 characters had on average over 2 million views, and videos that were using from 0 to 200 characters had around 1.5 million views in their study. So you can see again there's a positive relationship to filling out the tags and having more views on your YouTube videos. So one of the things I think is really important with YouTube tags is I do think that YouTube is looking at it right when your video is published. At that point, they don't really know a whole lot about the video. Yeah, they're starting to analyze what your video is about. They can read the transcript of the video, etc. But I think they are looking at the tags initially, but once they start to have a lot of interactions from users, so if YouTube reads the title, the description, the tags, the transcript of the video, they have an idea what it's about and they start to show it to people. As time goes on, they have a ton of information about who clicks on it, who watches it, who interacts with the video, and that's going to be what weighs most heavily on search results rankings. But in the initial launch of a video, none of that stuff exists yet, and so YouTube is relying on metadata. So what you can see from this next chart titled Weight of Keyword Tags Reduces Over Time, you can see how videos performed in search results that had a broad keyword match versus the ones that don't have a match with the keywords or the phrases where they're showing up in search results. And so if there was a match, they were using keywords in their tags correctly, you saw higher rankings or better rankings in YouTube search results, especially early on. So 2 weeks old for the video or newer, from 2 to 6 weeks, and also still from 6 weeks to 12 weeks. But moving on from there, so videos that were 3 months old or older, you can see it didn't really matter. Videos in search results, having good tags or not, didn't really matter that much. And I think what this is saying is over time, YouTube's figuring out what the video is about, who to show it to, who likes it, etc. And so the tags are less relevant at that point. They've kind of figured out who likes the content and who they should be showing it to and who they shouldn't show it to. If you want an initial push for your videos, tags, the title, the description, all that is important. But over time, YouTube kind of figures stuff out and they know who to show your videos to regardless. So what I think you can see from the studies that we took a look at was YouTube tags aren't the most important things when it comes to getting more views for your YouTube videos, but there is a positive relationship with doing tags correctly on YouTube and getting more views. What's most important is your title, your thumbnail, and your description. But yes, YouTube tags done well can help your videos get more views. And so what I thought would be helpful here is to give you a couple tips on how to better use tags in your videos. And so what I wanted to do is give you recommendations from Ahrefs, who are experts in all things SEO. And what they recommended is whatever the main keyword phrase you want to rank for, use that as your first tag. And so YouTube is going to look at the first tag, the second tag, and kind of use the order that you put them in as the order of importance. So whatever the most important phrase is, put that first. The next thing to do is take a look at other videos and what tags they're using. If you're using similar tags as they are, that will help relate your videos to their videos and may help you more with suggested videos. So you're going to show up along the side of other videos on desktop and below them as suggested videos on mobile. The last thing they recommend doing is using relevant keywords with search volume. And so how you can find which keyword phrases have search volume is by one, using Ahrefs' free Keyword Explorer tool. I'll put a link to that down below in the description, or using VidIQ, also a tool that I mentioned earlier in this video. You can use either of those tools for free to find out potential search volumes for different keywords. One last tip that kind of goes without saying is don't try to bait and switch. Be honest, straightforward with what information you're giving to YouTube in the title, the thumbnail, the description, and the tags. So over time, YouTube's gonna figure it out anyways. And so don't say your video is about Beyonce if it's not about Beyonce. And so the best thing to do is initially tell YouTube exactly what your video is about so they can find people who want to see your content. And so if there's a great match with that, YouTube find who likes the video, they interact with it, they watch the whole thing, YouTube will find more people like that interested in those topics. If you try to tell YouTube something different than what your video is not about in the title, description, tags, all of that, and so they show your video somewhere, people don't watch very much of it, your video is just going to disappear. YouTube's not going to show it to people if they don't know who to show it to. People aren't interacting well with it. So spend some time, invest the effort in creating a good thumbnail, title, tags, description that really tell YouTube what your video is about, and YouTube will find places to show your videos and you'll grow on YouTube. So taking a look at all these different studies, it does look like YouTube tags can help your videos get more views on YouTube, but they're not the most important factor when it comes to YouTube SEO. If you want to learn more about YouTube SEO and all the factors that will help your videos get more views, check out this video along the side here. Until next time, bye-bye.